All right. I am okay. Let me just tell you this. Right. Like, not only have I been a fan of you for years, like your family, because I feel like I've been following your entire family on
Yeah.
social media for years.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself.
Okay.
It's the lovely and talented Brittany Campbell is on with me. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, no problem, no doubt.
And usually, what I like to do is I like to do like a little known fact, and that was my little known fact. The fact that I've probably been following your family for like so Jessica and Sonya. I've been following them for
Yeah,
like forever. So I'm like
that's
you know
awesome.
Siege magazine, everything. So yeah, so
Wow.
it was like the fact that I hit you up in the inbox and you were like, "Yeah, I'll do it." I was like.
That's too easy. That's too easy.
So how's everything going today?
Everything's going really well. It's Friday, so my Fridays are typically pretty chill. It's like I'm kind of closing out the week, and tomorrow's Halloween, so um, this tomorrow's going to be laid back for me too. I am going to pass out candy for the kids with the day all day. We're going to do that together. But
Okay.
that's it. So my work week is pretty much done as far as clients go. I try to keep everybody Monday through Friday the best that
Mm.
I can. So my Fridays, I just kind of unwind and unravel from the week and then start to prepare for the next week.
Okay, because I definitely want to get into how things go in a day in the life of a little later on. But
Okay.
I guess the first question is how do you get started? Because I know little to nothing basically from your Instagram, little to nothing about bodybuilding. How do you get started in bodybuilding, or more specifically, how did you get started?
Well, getting started is not that difficult. How I started kind of like you. It was like I didn't know anything about it. I was just a gym rat on my own. I've always been into fitness and playing sports, and so there was a local gym here where I was going to train in the mornings. And it was a suggestion. There was a girl at the gym that competed, and she was kind of persistent. Her name is Jay Coleman. She just got married recently. Congratulations to her.
Mazel
But she
tov.
was very persistent about just like, hey, Brittany, you got to try this. Like, you could do it. And I just took her up on the recommendation, and that was over 7 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. So what she did was she introduced me to a gentleman that was a coach. He was actually coaching her at the time. And
Hmm.
so he kind of taught me how to train for bodybuilding, how to diet, how to pose, and all that stuff. And so there are what are called coaches in the sport. And
Hmm.
she connected me to one at the time, and that's how I got started. And I've been doing it ever since.
Wow, wow.
Mhm.
And so I read somewhere. So you've been doing it for 7 years, but you officially been a pro for 5 years, right?
Six. Uh,
6.
I was only an amateur for 8 months.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, so I
That's
started, and then they have like steps you take. Like you get nationally qualified, then you do a national show, then you can earn professional status. And I just went through those steps. It took me 8 months. Of course, that's not the most typical, but some people do it faster. Some people, it's a game of years. But for me, it was 8 months.
wow. That is quite impressive.
Hmm.
I can't even imagine being a pro. It took me years to be a pro at the job I got now, so I can't even imagine 8 months.
Yeah.
So so talk to me about how so you said the transition is fairly easy going, being from an amateur to a pro, but how has your life changed since you become, you got into it and you become a pro? How has things changed?
Uh, I mean, I've always been into sports, like I said. So I'm used to discipline and structure, sacrifice, like I'm used to those things. Being in this sport, I guess now I'm a lot more transparent than I used to be, more open because people kind of know who I am, even if I don't meet them first.
Hmm.
So now, rather than trying to be like a hermit and people find out information about me and ask me questions, I kind of put stuff out there. That's not how I've ever been in the past. And
Okay.
so, really, just that, just being out there and being accessible and transparent about my life with people. That's really the only thing that's changed. But as far as the discipline and the structure and the commitment, those things have always been there.
Okay. So was that a difficult? So I mean, you make the change. Was that a difficult change? Because I'm assuming you being going from being a private person to a little bit more exposed, where you're you're talking about how you feel about different things. You're showing. I mean, sometimes working out, at least for me, working out is fairly intimate. I don't have a whole lot of gym pictures because I'll be looking kind of bad in these pictures, in these videos. So I guess it's a change, right?
It was, yeah, and it's still a work in progress. Like I still work at it. So like I kind of set myself up to where I want to make sure I make X amount of posts per week. And that just keeps it, keeps me consistent with my followers. But it's still a work in progress. I've not perfected it. I haven't arrived, but I'm doing a lot better at it. And most of the feedback that I get is positive, and so I'm excited about that. And the fact that I can have a positive impact on people that I don't have access to physically, like they're not here, but they follow me on Instagram, but I can have a positive impact on them. And so I'm enjoying it, but it is still a work in progress for me.
Yeah, you know what? Ever since I've kind of taken on the undertaking of where I'm trying to be more of a digital creator than just writing blogs and just doing an occasional podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I've you know I face is that consistency to post to remind your followers. So I
Yep.
totally get that. Like I
Yep.
got yelled at by one of my one of my peers. They're just like, "Yo, you're not posting enough." I'm like, but I be trying to chill and let the
I know. But even like on days if I don't feel up to putting the camera in my face, I'll just go back through my camera roll and find something that I can post. Like I got an iPhone full of data and content that I can put out. And so even on days where I don't feel like being live, I still have old stuff I can post. And so it is important though to be consistent with people because that, they want to feel a part of what you're doing, and they'll commit to you, but you got to be consistent with them.
That's true. So actually, that's a good tip. So maybe like on Thursday, just pull out an old post or old little clip and just be like,
Yeah, you can
put
do
it
a
out there.
throwback Thursday every week,
Yeah,
and then that's not even something that you have to create. It's just
yeah.
something old in your phone every Thursday. That's too easy.
I
Hmm.
like I like where you're going. So I'm learning so much from you. All right, so all right, what's a day look like for you? So I guess I'm gonna split that up
Okay.
into two parts because not only are you do the bodybuilding, but you're also a trainer.
Hmm.
Um, so obviously I don't train that much. I'm working on it though. I'm getting better. I'm working on it because I've been been yelling at myself. But I guess how's the life of a trainer? And then and then I guess my second part question is going to be how do you balance that with your own training?
Okay, so this is what I have learned to do. I prioritize myself. Okay, so I set up my schedule first. What time I want to do cardio, what time I want to train, and do things for myself, and then I plug clients into those gaps
Mm-hmm.
because I I used to do it the opposite where I would let clients pick their times and then I'd be, scrambling trying to fit my stuff in around them and I'd just be frustrated and then I'd be like resentful because it's like I didn't get to do what I wanted to do for myself because I was training people. So I prioritize myself and that's something I would recommend to anybody. Even if you're a personal trainer and you don't compete, you still got to look the part and you still got to be healthy and you still got to be fit. So schedule yourself first and then plug people into those gaps. And so that's how I do it. So the first thing I do every morning is I wake up. Some mornings I like to wake up a little extra early if I want to meditate, use the foam roller, something like that. But then I go do cardio. Then I take a morning group of clients. Okay, so there's the block of hours where I train people, and then I have like a 4 hour block for me where
Mm-hmm.
eat, change, and then I train. Then I have an evening block of clients. And I don't like to be at the gym late, so I cut that off at like 7:30, and then I'm home to do, whatever personal things I want to
Okay.
do.
Okay.
But the key to my schedule is to prioritize myself, so there's no hard feelings, and then plug people into those gaps.
Yeah, that's what I got to work on. I
Yeah.
think I spend the most of my last couple of weeks, kind of struggling because I'm not prioritizing myself. I'm not even prioritizing, everything I'm doing. I'm trying to
Yep.
Well,
And I put
be
myself
Captain Save 'em. Yeah.
the same way I put clients on a calendar, I put my stuff on my calendar too. Like,
Mm,
this is my cardio time. This is my massage time. That's important too. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, that's the priority. Then everybody else kind of comes right after that. And the better I take care of myself, the better I can take care of my clients. But it can't be the other way around where, I'm sacrificing myself for people, then nobody's winning.
right. Right.
Hmm.
Well, you talked about a couple things in that I'm kind of want to ask questions about. So one, sorry, I thought I put that on silent. One,
Oh, hold on 1 second.
okay.
Give me one second. I'll be right back.
So yeah.
Okay, sorry. I had a
Oh,
delivery. My
oh,
bad.
no problem. No problem. No problem. Um, yeah. So a couple things that I wanted to kind of piggyback off of from what you said. So, one, um, you know, looking the part. Now, now for me, I think that that's pretty important in what you do. But I not throw shade. Sometimes I go to LA Fitness. I see an older guy with a belly about the size of me trying to tell me to do like some push-ups or something. So it's kind of hard, to get that buy-in when you see someone that looks like you. So
Yeah.
how important is to look that part?
For me, it's paramount because, like, people spend money on advertising. When I walk around, I'm the billboard. Like,
True.
that's the conversation piece. I don't have a shirt that says trainer. People ask me that literally everywhere I go. So when I look the part, it's like the clients come to me, the money comes to me, and I'm not out chasing clients or like asking people if they want a trainer. They come up to me just by me walking into Walmart. But
Mm.
what do I have to do? I have to look the part. I have to keep myself in shape. I have to carry myself a certain way. And then there's zero investment in advertising. The investment is into myself. And then that attracts more money or more clients.
That's a valid point.
Mhm,
That makes a lot of sense.
mhm.
So this probably is going to be like my third podcast in a row where my guest has actually mentioned meditation. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's the universe is talking to me right now.
That's what we're
So
talking about.
so so how often and how important is meditation for you?
It is as important as the training to me.
Mm,
Because without that, it's like I have to have moments where my mind can unravel, where, I'm able to clear my thoughts, embrace and understand what I'm feeling, acknowledge what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, what I really want from life. If those things aren't in place, then I'm just kind of running in the wilds. But when I can meditate and sit back, I have these moments of clarity and then I know like where I want to go. Once I have that in check, that kind of guides my steps throughout the day. So it's so important. It's like resetting your compass every time.
mm,
And
mm,
so that guides your actions and what you allow and what you don't allow in your life, who you're going to spend time with, who you're going to cut loose, all that stuff. And
yeah.
it's important. But you got to have that time of silence and you got to have that time by yourself to really get clarity, I think. And, I just think people are so distracted with TV and music. And like, when do you sit and actually like get in tune with yourself and listen to yourself and not politics or Facebook or you know what I mean, like
Right,
listen to
right.
yourself too. Yeah.
Yeah, I found myself since probably last week,
Hmm.
um, I found myself trying to do it more. So I'll especially when um especially when I have like a little anxiety
Yep.
beforehand. So
Yep.
let me be candid with you. I'm gonna open up and tell you
Yeah.
something. All right, so preparing for the podcast, right?
Mhm.
So every performance, you get a little bit of butterflies, right? And I'm talking to Brittany Campbell, so I got a little butterflies, right? So 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 I was like, all right, well, let me just take a shot. I'm like, no, I can't take a shot because I'm talking to somebody who's a bodybuilder. So what I did was that I meditated for like 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Just I got up, I listened to some music, got my weighted jump rope. I started doing some jump rope.
Okay.
Pretty good. I'm probably not on your level, but I'm pretty good. And then I did a couple of push-ups. So I did about 25 push-ups. I was like, I got fired up. I was like,
all right,
now I'm ready to do it. So
that's how you can conquer your day. Like you can conquer anything that way. If you just give yourself that time. And that's what I was talking about. Like some mornings I'm going to wake up a little extra early to give myself that time. So I'm not starting my day in a rush. I'm starting it calm. I like to call it moving at a comfortable pace. I do not like to rush and be stressed for no reason. So I give myself the time to do the things I need to do and move at a comfortable pace. But is that meditation time in there? Yeah, it has to be. That's a priority for me. So it's there.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I spend a lot of my time rushing, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, give yourself time so you can move comfortably. Because that the stress of rushing starts to accumulate in the body, So give yourself, wake up 10 minutes earlier, if it takes you 20 minutes to get somewhere, leave 30 minutes, so you're not stressed out in traffic. I think that stuff adds up. So
yeah.
I try to keep things cool and calm. And if I'm running late for something, I'll shoot the text, hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late, and I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm not going to rush and be stressed either.
It makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. All right. So you also talked about massages.
Yeah.
So regular massages, I'm assuming, or just, I would assume this is important in bodybuilding in general, but you would recommend them.
It's therapy. It's like running maintenance on a car. It's like, how long are you going to drive your car and not get the oil changed? You got to do that stuff. So especially for a bodybuilder, because we probably put a little more physical stress on our bodies than the average. But you think about the impact you put on your body every day. When do you decompress your back? But you're constantly under gravity all day. So there's always a compression on your back. So when do you decompress? So like massages and pedicures and, I see people do all kinds of stuff, dry needling, acupuncture, chiropractic work. But all of it is like maintenance. And you think of your body like a machine that you use to get you through your life. Well, you got to run maintenance on it. And that's really all that is. But you can't drive yourself into the ground and not do that stuff and expect the body to keep giving you the result that you want. It won't.
True. Mm-hmm. So how often do you get weekly? Is it monthly?
I like weekly. I say probably bi-weekly, but there's some type of therapy going on every week. Something intensive for an hour to an hour and a half. But I like massages once a week. Yeah.
Oh, I got to start doing massages.
Yeah, do it. I like to do yoga. I go to yoga classes. That's helped me a lot. I started doing that this year in January. That's helped me actually with my training a lot.
Oh, so let's talk about that. How has yoga helped? Because I did see a video of you doing yoga, and I was like, well, okay,
So with yoga and the yoga practice, one of the ways that has benefited me is it's taught me to actually stop and pay attention to what I'm feeling in my body, right? So you wake up, you brush your teeth, you go to work, you do all these things, but when do you actually like close your eyes and like scan your body with your mind to see what you're feeling physically? Mm-hmm. Well, in yoga, there's periods of time where you're guided through doing that. And we kind of like, we'll scan our body. And I remember being in class one day and I was like noticing like, well, I feel pretty good except right here or right there. And so now when I train, I'm so much more connected with the muscle that I'm training, connected with my body, understanding what I'm feeling. And I listen to it. Like if something don't feel right, I stop, because I'm not going to injure myself. And so yoga's helped me in that sense tremendously, just to be able to be more in tune with my own body and pay attention to it and really listen to it.
Okay. Huh. I got to start doing yoga. I mean, I'm just making a list.
Add that to the list.
Just add that to the list. Man, Brittany, you trying to keep me like really busy. I'm not going to have time to do any content. Like I'm about to be doing jump rope and push-ups and meditation and massages.
That's tell people all the time, you're talking health and wellness. That's a lifestyle. It's not like one thing that you do. It's a way of living. And so the way I live is to create a body that's, healthy, strong, pain-free. So all this stuff is a part of that. And, it really is a lifestyle. It's not just the workouts. It's all the stuff I do when I'm not in the gym too.
True.
Mhm.
All right. So take me behind the scenes. All right. So like you're at competitions. You've been in plenty of competitions.
Yeah.
How is it, behind the scenes? Is there like, okay, let me give you from my perspective. In my mind, because I got a crazy imagination. In my mind, it's like bodybuilding / like, like miscongeniality. So people like are sabotaging people. Like you gotta watch your back at all times. You might have to fight somebody. No, okay, I didn't think so.
Let me tell you something. People be so like, it depends. So there's different categories in the sport. Like there's the figure division, there's bikini. Each one of them has their own vibe. And like the bodybuilders, the guys, they're almost like zombies backstage. They ain't paying us no attention. They're so into themselves. Maybe they're hungry, dehydrated, whatever. Like, ain't nobody really paying nobody attention backstage. Let me just put that out there. So,
Okay.
but I will tell you within the bodybuilding community, like leaving my bag backstage, stuff like that, we don't, it's like a code. Like if anything, we're looking out for each other. I've never had an issue with anybody backstage ever. I've never had like a bad thing happen backstage. And I leave my stuff back there, my wallet, like my suit, everything.
Right.
I've never had an issue like that.
Right. So how I guess I know every competition is probably different, and as you just stated. So
Yeah.
how I mean, do you participate in all of those competitions, or is it one set one that you do versus how does that work? I'm
Well,
completely clueless.
there's a couple shows. There are two. One of them you have to be in. There are two really, really big shows every year. Okay. One is the Arnold, one's the Olympia. The Arnold Classic, you have to be
Right.
invited to. The Olympia, you have to qualify for. So that's how those two shows happen every year. The other shows, at the beginning of the year, the Pro League will put out a schedule, and I'll look over the schedule and figure out which shows work best for me based on where they are, when they are. Is it a 1-day show or a 2-day show? And then there's also tiers to the show. I'm looking at the prize money, like stuff like that. So I kind of you have the freedom to pick what shows you do. But
Gotcha.
those two big shows, those are set in stone if you get invited or you qualify. And actually the Olympia is coming up mid-December, and that's what I'm getting ready for right now.
Okay. So you did qualify for it. Congratulations.
Uh,
You're a 4-time, right? This is your fourth? 5.
This
Yeah.
will be a 5th trip today, so I'm super. And I will tell you, this is my 5th one. I've not been this excited about it before, so I'm really, really looking forward to this. I've been having so much fun this year. I got a new coach. His name is Joseph Cortez back in March,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell you, I've been having a ball ever since, and so I'm really looking forward to this Olympia. I'm super excited about it.
Well, good. So not only that, you you got invited to the Arnold next year, right? So it's in
Well,
March.
no, that hasn't come out yet. I have been invited to the Arnold, I believe, 4 times.
Okay.
More than likely, you that's something you want to get invited to.
Right.
But COVID has changed a lot of stuff, so I haven't even seen a date for the Arnold yet, to be honest. So I'm not sure how all that's going to happen or when. But
Okay.
I would love to be invited again. If so, it would be my 5th trip to the Arnold too.
That's what I'm talking about. See, I'm talking to a celebrity. I'm so hyped for you. Now I don't know. I am super proud of you because I know I know the hard work it takes for that, and then just look, I feel connected watching you on on IG. So
On social media, that's what I'm trying to create. Like, well, I'll say with Instagram, that's my favorite platform. I
yeah,
want people to feel like they're actually a part of it. So, like, when there's the success on my part, I want people to feel like it's theirs too, And so that's kind of what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to create. And so I'm glad that you said that, because that's the goal of the social media. Like, it's not for me. It's really just to get people involved and let them be a part of this journey with me. So it's not just me by myself.
right, and it's not just you by yourself because you know looking at your IG and speaking of goals, relationship goals, your Bay is with you and competing with you as well. So talk about that.
Okay, so okay, okay. So the story started with Joseph Cortez, who's my new coach.
Yeah.
He is Jamal's coach too. And he actually kind of set us up on the slide. We've not, but he kind of did it. So anyway, yeah, met Jamal, and that was like an instant connection. He was competing as an amateur at the time and went on to do a national show, earned professional status a few months back. And so the show in Spain was his first pro show, and
okay.
It was super, super special. I'm so proud of him.
Okay, I know that was special. I saw when you took his phone back backstage.
Yeah,
I saw that.
So what happens is we were backstage together, and the expediters came back and called for his category to leave.
Okay.
So they take them into another area where they start to get their like final touches before they go on the stage. And so he had left his phone, and I left a message for him to see, because I figured when he came back, I would be leaving. So we were going to spend like this time apart from each other. But I was just so proud of him and wanted him to know it. So I did that. And I didn't know he was going to post it on Instagram.
It was beautiful. It was, I looked at it, I was like, oh. So
that's super sweet.
So how important is it to have a significant other that gets it, that understands the training, that understands the sacrifice, that understands what you have to do?
It really makes a difference. Like, and Jamal and I, one of the first conversations we had in the gym was about that very thing, because when I met Jamal, I think he had asked me, I don't know how relationships came up. And I was like, look, I've been single. I don't date. I don't try to date. That's how I came at him. Like, I don't even try to date, because it's so hard to find somebody that really, and guys will see you and say, oh, you're pretty. Oh, I like you. Oh, I want to date you. And they love what you do until they have to understand what it takes for you to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have somebody that does it too and understands it and supports you while you do it makes a world of difference. Because you may have some guys too, it's like they understand, but they're not going to support you doing it.
Right.
They do it, but they're not going to support you and embrace you and let you shine too. And so with him, that, you know, I don't know, he was God sent, and you know, it's really special. It's really made a difference, and it's made this process a lot more easy and fun, because I don't have to explain like why I'm dog tired, or if I say I'm at the gym, you know, it's not like, well, why you still at the gym? I used to hate getting questions like that, but he understands it, and so, you know, it's
what you mean why I'm still at the gym? I'm training.
I'm telling you, guys will love a fit woman until they realize how much time she has to put into her craft. And you know, and it's all fun and games until you want to take her out to eat and she says no. Like, there's no restaurant food, there's no going out, there's no partying and drinking and all that stuff. And so guys, it's like they want to date you until they find out what it takes for you to be you. And then, you know, it gets a little tricky. So
I guess that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Like,
yeah. Oh, it's all fun and games until, you know, you want to go out, or like in people, in the things that people take for granted, like, hey, we're just gonna hit the drive-thru real quick. No, like, we're gonna go home and cook this fish and this asparagus and eat that. You know, so he gets it because he does it too, and I really, really appreciate him for not just understanding what I do, but also supporting me while I do it.
I guess it brings me to another question. So how do you date when everything is so limited? Like, is it more so just spending time together than actually, like, you know, going on? Because most people think to themselves, I'm going out, I'm having a drink, restaurant. You just shut all that down.
So when we train, that's what I call a date. So like, I'll post the Instagram video of us training. I'm like, yeah, it's a date. It's a Friday. Like, this is our date on a Friday night. Be in the gym. But our goals are the same. And so it works for us because he has goals in the sport and so do I. And so we just bring it together, and that's what we do. And we enjoy doing it. And so like last weekend we were together, we had a Sunday. Sundays are typically our rest days. we're just like kicking back, watching TV, but when it's time to train, we put our shoes on and go to work together. And that's the date. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Being in Spain together, was a really good experience. We stayed some days after the show so we could just, spend time together and be
Yeah.
cute and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the date is the gym. That's our lifestyle. That's what we do. Other people wouldn't understand it, but we do. And so it works for us.
Well, I'm definitely happy for you because as soon as we started talking about this, I saw the face light up. So I know that I know how that spark you get when you're in that relationship. So I'm happy for you.
It's super. I'm so blessed. Like, and I tell people, like, I got to be the luckiest girl in the world. Like, I feel like I have the best of everything: the best parent, the best coach, the best partner. Like, I feel super blessed, super grateful, and I appreciate it. Like, and so when it comes to Jamal, like, I just appreciate who he is and how he is with me. I really, really appreciate it.
All right, so it's time to get to the nitty gritty,
Okay.
Brittany. All right, so obviously I need some tips,
Okay.
right? So, what can I do? I mean, do I need to start like doing like 5 push-ups a day? I mean, no, I'm joking. So,
Not bad though.
well, I actually during COVID is when I started because gyms were shut down. So I actually started doing a push-up regimen where I would try to at least do 100 a day.
Okay.
Now that took a while to get there, but I'm
Yeah.
proud of the fact that I got there. So,
Me too. That's awesome.
before I started, I could knock out a hot 3 at a time, and then
I ain't gonna tell nobody.
I mean, yeah, it's just the world will know, it's no big deal. But now I can do 25 at a time, so I'm like, okay, all right, somewhere. So I get that nutrition is probably most important.
I like how you trying to just glance over that part, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
It's nutrition. It's 90. People say it's 80% nutrition. It's like 99.99% nutrition. That's the truth. And nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to accept it. And I've come to terms with it. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I say that. Some people are just not going to accept it. But that's where it's at. Because you got to think about, there's a million people that work out all the time, but there's very few that can put on a teeny bikini and get on stage. So what's the difference? It's what you're putting in your body, and that's determining the outcome that you have. And that's 99. I'm not going with the 80% anymore because I think even telling people that it's 80%, they still underestimate how important it is. It's everything.
Yeah, because you can sit there and tell me 80%. I'm like, well, that means I can get like at least a couple cookies.
I'm gonna start telling people it's 99.999% of the process is nutrition. That's what I'm sticking with from now on. Maybe then
okay.
We'll get
So what does a person need to eat? Like, is it because I guess because I know people that do these fad diets. I know they like, oh, let me cut carbs here, and then all of a sudden they eat carbs, and then they blow back up, and then all these other diets. What does this person need to eat?
Okay, so there's many different names for many different methods of eating, right? You have keto or low carb, or some people protein cycle. There's intermittent fasting. There's all these different methods, okay? But if I had to just say one thing that could work for absolutely everybody, and this is elementary right here. If it has a label and it has something on it that you can't pronounce, don't eat it. Okay? Because if you don't understand what it is, neither does your body. Okay? So let's lean more toward like one word foods: fish, asparagus, broccoli. Let's try to get to things that don't have a label. But when there is a label involved, look at it. So let's look at it. And once you get to something you can't pronounce, or you don't know what it does or what it's for or what it is, don't eat it. Don't put it in your body. You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. And we don't question these things that we put in our body that we don't understand. And that's why you don't. And that's why some people, it's like, oh, I don't know how I gain the weight. Well, I don't know how. I don't know why I can't lose the weight. Well, you don't have a good understanding of what you're putting in your body.
Right.
Okay, so now, so if you're going to a drive-through, there's no telling. They don't even put labels on the stuff. But
Right.
if you're buying foods, just try to keep things at one word, like simple things: oats, rice, fish, chicken. Right? These are all one words, no
Mhm.
label. Once there's a label, that's when things start to get tricky, and people are starting to put things in their bodies that aren't intended to be there in the first place.
So no two words like protein bar, because
So here's the thing: it's a protein bar until you look at the label, and the label's like this long.
yeah,
You're getting a whole lot more than protein.
yeah,
You're getting all kind of like preservatives and like really like protein bars. I'm sorry, they're crap,
mm,
and it's not a real thing. Like we're now eating things that are created in buildings, right? Where's the
yeah.
protein? Where can you grow a protein bar or catch a protein bar?
Think at Sam's Club or something.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, but that's made, like a lab or something.
yeah, yeah,
Basically. I don't know. Like, where do these things come from that we're putting in our bodies? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know
yeah.
where, like, if I eat a wild Alaskan salmon, I know where that came from. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think that's where most people go wrong is that we're putting things in our body that were never intended to be there, and so the reaction that we get from the body is undesirable.
Okay.
Yeah,
I,
it's just like if you take your okay, you got a car, right?
right.
What do you put in your gas tank? Gas.
Um, gas.
Put gas in it. What if I
Right.
gave you like a bottle of soda and said, "Here, try to put this in your gas tank"? You low on
Probably,
gas. Let's
probably,
try.
probably wouldn't.
But
No.
people do that with their bodies all the time. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna hit this drive-through. I don't know what it is exactly in it, but I'm hungry and I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah,
We do that to our bodies, but we won't do it to our cars. I'm just saying.
yeah. I definitely wouldn't put a Snickers in the gas tank. No.
But you see what I'm saying? But you'll put it in
Yeah,
your body.
yeah.
I don't know. But you see what I'm saying? Like the
No,
analogy.
I get it. I totally get
You
it.
can't just put anything in a car. You shouldn't be okay with just putting anything in your body either. That's the simplest way. I think that's where people should start. But there's so many methods. I see why people get confused. But my thing is this: if you don't know what it is, don't eat it.
Okay.
How about that? We start right there,
So,
and then you're kind of on the right path.
and so, what advice would you offer to somebody that's like a foodie? A foodie. So, you know, food. I know you're supposed to, eat to live and not live to eat. You
Yeah.
know, but sometimes some nice little fancy rest. What advice do you give to a foodie? Same, same,
I
same
think
thing.
most things are okay in moderation,
Okay.
but this is a hard truth that don't nobody want to hear. You just got to choose what you want more.
Mm,
And don't complain. I don't want to hear the complaint. Like if you know you love junk food, eat it. But don't complain to me about, I want to lose weight and
right.
why, I want to hear it. Like eat your junk food and be happy. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. And I even tell my clients this like my goal for you is not for you to do what I want you to do. My goal for you is for you to love yourself, take care of yourself and be happy with what you see in the mirror.
Mm,
If you can eat junk food and you happy, I want you to be happy. Because what's the use of me telling you eat like this, eat like that, and you're miserable? I don't want you to be miserable. I want you to be happy because this is
true.
your life to live. So you just have to know what makes you happy. If you're eating foods that cause an undesirable result and you're not happy, you got to fix it. If you're happy, you're good. Don't even, nothing to worry
It's
about.
true. Okay. All right.
Like, okay,
So,
I'll use Jamal as an example.
okay.
This man is an amazing creation of God. Let me just say that. He can kind of eat whatever he wants. And I remember one day, it was after Spain, right? We was going in. And one morning he woke up, he was like, yo, I woke up so tight this morning. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I went in the bathroom and my belly was all out. I was unhappy. So he can do it. Me, I can't because when I did it, I didn't like the result.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he can
Yeah.
have all the Cracker Barrel breakfast and the burgers. The man he's amazing. And he looks like a freaking statue right now. Like it doesn't matter. But me, I'm bloated. I'm uncomfortable. I can't breathe. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I have to do the things that make me happy. What makes me happy? Um, Having low blood pressure and like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
how my clothes fit matters to me, stuff like that. So I do things that are in alignment with that goal for me.
Okay.
So it's different for different people. I
It's
guess
different
that's,
for different people.
yeah.
So, all right, let's say that I'm eating better now. So now I'm eating one word stuff now. So now it's time for me to get to this gym.
Yes.
What am I doing?
So here's a great resource for people that they can use. Okay, well, first let me say this. When it comes to exercise, you have to find what you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Some people really love CrossFit. Not me so much. I really
Mm-hmm.
love bodybuilding. Some people really love dancing or skating or martial arts. You have to do something that you enjoy, because if it's something you enjoy, you'll be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's start there. I don't think weightlifting is for everybody, because not everybody's going to be happy in the gym. Okay.
Right.
But if weightlifting is something you want to get into, there's a great resource, bodybuilding.com. I tell people about, they don't pay me to say this. It's just a great resource. You can literally go on there, print entire workouts where you can fill in stuff, anything you want. That's a great resource. They have like training, nutrition advice. Bodybuilding.com is where I would say just start there, do some digging in there, and then you can actually print workouts and take them to the gym with you and then follow those.
Okay,
And
cool.
that's free. Everything on there is free. That's the beauty of it.
All right. So people like free. People do like free.
Bodybuilding.com. It's a free resource for anybody, especially if you're looking to get into like weight training. That's a great place to start.
All right, good. I'm gonna start there because again, weight training is not for me, but I think you did give sound advice as far as do something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
really love weight training. Like I got these big calluses in my hand. Like I like that. Some people like playing soccer or tennis. Like do your thing. So you'll be consistent about it.
okay.
And I understand that, bodybuilding is not for everybody. It's just the thing that I really enjoy. And that's why I've been able to do it for so long, because I'm not miserable doing it.
Makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. All right, I do have to ask this question because I have spoken to a lot of my female friends,
Okay.
and when we we start talking about losing weight and working out, I'm like, okay, yeah, and I'll do my research. I'm a nerd, so I'll do the research. So some of the stuff you told me about, I'm just hard headed. I need to learn, whatever. But don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. But one of the things I'll mention about the benefits of cardio and strength training, because it helps to it helps burn fat both ways. So a lot of I'm gonna say most, a lot of women who I talk to, they have this whole stereotype when it comes to I'm not doing lifting no weights.
Okay.
Why would you encourage women to lift weights?
There's so many benefits to lifting weight. One of the things that there's so many misconceptions around it, but the shape of muscle that's developed is so beautiful. Like the roundness. I think girls think they'll look more manly.
Yes,
But
that's
a
the
developed
complaint.
muscle is round. And sometimes in bodybuilding, we call it like muscle bellies, like shape. So when I look at my physique, for example, I'm looking for shape everywhere. Nothing's flat, nothing's boxy. A developed muscle is round, especially in Black people. It's genetic. Okay. So I think if women knew the actual shape of muscle, they would appreciate it a little bit more. Okay, so for women that are getting a little bit older, it really becomes important to add resistance training into your regimen, because it staves off osteoporosis. So we start to lose our bone density, but weight training, like, not only can it keep that off, but it can actually reverse it where it's already started. And so I recommend it to all women. And to me, like, and you don't have to lift heavy, you don't have to get into powerlifting, but just train the muscle so it's strong, and it supports your body and supports your movement.
I
But
think
the shape of muscle is it's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
the shape of a muscle is actually round. But what happens is if you develop a muscle and there's a lot of body fat on top of it, you never get to see it. That's all.
Okay. So I'm glad you broke that down, because I spoke to I know I spoke to one of my friends, like, yeah, I'm getting ready to interview someone who's a bodybuilder, and she was like, oh, a bodybuilder.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like,
I mean,
and because that's what they, that's the common misconception in the heads. Like, oh, but I see bodybuilders, they be, they kind of be looking all, masculine. I said, no, and because I support you. So I went right to your right to your IG. I'm like, not this one. And she was like, oh, okay. See, now if I was lifting weights, that's how I would want to look.
and that's
So
the beauty of bodybuilding to me. It's like your body becomes a canvas and you can create what you want. Like if you want more of something, you can train it like to develop. I love everything about it. It really is an art, but what I really appreciated about it is the ability to create the look that I want. So the body that I have is the one that I want to create, even more so than what the judges pick, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I've got to be happy with this, and I have an opportunity every day to get up and do things that create the physique that I want for myself, and I really love that about bodybuilding.
Yeah. All right. You know what? You have definitely inspired me. One last question that just popped in my head. So, and I know you can't speak for every gym. You know, you're not the guru of every. Yeah, they're all different.
Yeah.
Should people feel safe going to the gym during the pandemic?
The $1,000,000 question. That's a loaded question.
It's a very loaded question. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. So, granted, let me be careful here. So, coronavirus is a real thing, right? And it's happening. I believe that a person's immune system has a lot to do with how it affects them if they come in contact with it.
Right.
Okay. So let's just start with making sure that we're doing everything in our power to be healthy and improve our immune system and not cause damage to it.
Right.
So I will tell you here locally, some gyms have mandates that you have to wear a mask inside the gym. Okay. The gym where I am currently training does not. So it's under this president, it's not like these mandates are coming from higher. He's leaving the power up to the states.
Right.
The states, like I'm in Texas, things are a little bit lax here. I'm gonna just tell it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the gym where I'm at, mostly we do not have to wear a mask. Now, do I feel unsafe? I don't. And I just don't. One reason is because I know that I take really good care of myself.
Right.
And I just believe this, that I have an immune system that would sustain me if I were to come in contact with the virus.
Right.
Okay. Some of the gyms do have people wear masks. And so it's up to you. But if you have to wear a mask in the gym, wear it. But don't use anything as an excuse to not take better care of yourself, because not taking care of yourself is not going to help you. So, for example, I have a client that she works at a hospital, right? Mm-hmm. And she works with children. And so, and I understand why she doesn't want to be in the gym, because she's going to go and be around children with a compromised immune system, right?
Right.
So I train her online. She has like stuff at her house, and I just coach her through the computer. Wow. And the moral of that story is like the woman won't make an excuse to not take care of herself. So we're up at 5 a.m. getting this done because she got to be at the hospital at 7. So she's not even coming to a gym, but she's not going to allow that to stop her from taking care of herself, because she understands the importance of being strong and healthy and taking care of the body and the immune system. Okay. So that was a long answer, but it was a hard question.
No, it was a hard question, but it was a great answer. Okay. Because I think a lot of people struggle with that. And it's like you said, you can use anything as an excuse if you don't want to really do something. So,
but I'm gonna tell you, sitting at home and not taking care of your body won't help you. Because we can't control where we come in contact with this virus. It could come from somebody delivering something to your house. We don't know. Right. Okay, but the best defense we have is our immune system. That's it. That's what's going to save us ultimately, because it's not like we have a surefire protocol to fix it, right? So just do things to improve your immune system. Eat a healthy diet, get good rest, drink plenty of water, and exercise. That's what any doctor will tell you. If it comes to being healthy, keeping your immune system strong, those are the things you have to do. So do those things. And if you have to wear a mask, if it makes you feel more comfortable to wear a mask, they have the really light cotton ones that are really breathable.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Yeah.
But by all means, take care of yourself and do exercise. That's my
I'm gonna start after I get off here. I got some push-ups waiting on me. Yes. Brittany, thank you so much for joining me. This was great.
Yeah.
Anything that you wanna plug? You wanna plug your social media things that you're working on? Go
Yeah.
right ahead.
So my absolute favorite social media platform is Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And my Instagram is all about allowing people to be a part of the process while it actually happens. And I think it's so important that I show content as it happens, because it's not like I'm telling you about something I did back in the day. You're seeing it happen, you're seeing what I do, and you're seeing the results. Like you said, like my family, I'm so transparent about like my relationship, everything good and beautiful in my life. I'm sharing it with people. And Instagram is where I like to do it. It's Go Figure Brittany on Instagram. And if you DM me, I'm gonna write you back. Okay. So
True. Facts.
I'm on there. Yeah. So it's my favorite platform. I just feel like it connects me to people really well. And by all means, if you have questions or anything you want to run by me, I'm an open book and a free resource for you to use. I'm very passionate about giving back. I've learned so much and benefited from this sport so much. I just want to be able to share it with people, and Instagram helps me do that. And so that's where you can find me for the most part. If you want to email me, it's gofigurebritney@gmail.com. I'll try to keep it all uniform. And yeah, I'm getting ready for the Olympia right now. So you'll start seeing a lot more training videos from me, but you're going to see Bay all day because that's a very important part of my life. My boss friends, you're going to see them, Makayla, Tiffany, Dell.
All
I
right.
like, these are the women that inspire. And you know, people say best friends, but my friends are bosses. And so that's what I call them. And so you'll see them, you'll see my family. Um, yeah, but if you have questions or anything, I really do reach out. Don't be afraid to. I'll be more than happy to help you in any way that I can.
Perfect. That was great. Well, so all right. Thank you once again for
Oh,
for doing this. I really appreciate it.
mm-hmm. Anytime. If you want me to